Here we go. Well, not every day that I get a former world boxing champion to talk to online, and that's bottom left, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, and joining us, Adam Harris for First Cut, Lino Sabini. And why are we on Zoom together right now? Why? Well, I'm going to ask Lino first. Lino, big exciting weekend coming up next Sunday at Petros Taverna Lachine, and the next Monday at Summer League Golf Club. Tell us why we're all getting together.
Basically, the Italian Open is a social event, and at the same time, it raises money for charities. We raise anywhere between 18,000 and 20,000 a year, and the price of the tournament is not so expensive or exorbitant because we want as many people as possible to participate from all levels of life, whether they be a blue collar or whether they be a business owner or a millionaire. It doesn't really matter. So we want to try to attract as many golfers as possible. We've been running for 13 years. This is our 13th year, and we previously it used to be called the Irish Open, but the gentleman who was running it, who was a teacher of mine in high school, he decided to say it's over. I can't do it anymore, and handed it over to us. He says, just call it the Italian Open, and the Irish still come to the tournament. So it's a nice blend.
So that's good. So let me ask you: is the golf day sold out, and is the Petros Taverna brunch with Ray Boom Boom Mancini sold out?
Yes, I would think that right now we're still getting people from the brunch, but I would say we're between 80 and 100, which is the capacity of the restaurant. We have a beautiful terrace, and Ted Dranius from Petros Taverna is going to roast a couple of lambs for us. So I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful event and filled with a lot of sports personalities, which maybe Adam can fill you in later. But that being said, the golf tournament is at 320 players. We have two 18-hole course reserved at Summer League Golf Club, which is a private club. And we've been going there for the last 4 years. So we're ready for the weekend, and it's going to be a fun, full-packed weekend, especially with the two-time World Boxing Association champion coming to town. Being Italian, he's going to fit right in. Ray is going to fit right in.
Absolutely. So, Adam, tell me about your link to this event. You've got some boxing in your blood. Tell me what your role has been in this whole event.
Well, Lino was kind enough to mention before that the Irish were running the Italian Open before, and then it switched to the Italian Open. So I kind of wanted to come be involved a little bit and show the little Irish flag for the town. But no, thanks to Lino for letting me be involved. So basically, been a big fan of Ray my whole life. It was a friend of mine named Corey Erdman was kind enough to introduce us. So I just thought I'd love to bring Ray to Montreal and really show the Italian community and the boxing and sports community in Montreal, just be in contact with someone like Ray. If you've watched his movie, The Good Son, it's an incredible movie. I felt really compelled to just be a part of him a little bit because he's inspired me so much my whole life. From watching him as a young man with my father on TV on I believe it was ABC. I mean, it was the thing to do and it was the thing to see. So I mean, I don't even know if people can understand how big of an impact Ray was throughout the sporting world. And today, people can't make that impact. I mean, I think I had 3 channels at the time, and Ray was much watched TV. So I had the opportunity to kind of be a part of the Italian Open, and I thought, you know what, Ray's going to be in town on a little early, so why don't we do a brunch and really introduce him to the community where they can really get to know him a little bit, hear his story. We have a lot of other sports celebrities coming, everyone from, basically Otis Grant to Gord Donnelly from the NHL. Many other boxers and sports personalities will be there. So we're looking forward to it. And I'm just thankful for Ray for coming down. And, I think he's going to love Montreal. I think he was last here in 1981. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, so let's get to you, Ray. You haven't been here since 1981. You were there with the original Boom Boom.
I brought my mother and father for a trip. It was before I fought Aguayo. And I brought my father to Montreal because he hadn't been back since 1941 when he beat Dave Castelou, who was from Montreal, at the Montreal Forum to be the number one contender in the world. And so I thought it would be nice for him to come back. And it was. My father loved it. He loved it. He always said to people, in Canada, he fought in Canada a few times, always treated him very well. But the night he beat Dave Castelou to become the number one contender, as I tell a story, Benny Leonard was the referee at the time. And Benny Leonard said, Lenny Boom Boom Mancini is the closest thing to Benny Bass that I ever saw. And Benny Bass was a contemporary of Benny Leonard and fought Benny Leonard, and they had great wars. So it was a great compliment to my father. But the fact that my father went into Dave Castro's backyard, beat him to become one of the contenders was a great accomplishment at that time, especially for my father to become number one contender. Unfortunately, as we all know, they never got that opportunity to fight for the title. But that's why I brought him back. And it was a wonderful, wonderful vacation. And the people were lovely, and I always tell people, I always tell people in America, if you want to go to Europe, but you can't make that trip to Europe, Montreal and Toronto is as close to Europe as you can get. I'm sure there's other places that I've seen. All of the province of Quebec is so wonderful. They got that. It's Europe. It's Europe. It's Europe in North America. So it's a wonderful thing, but we don't take advantage of it here in America. We don't, and it's unfortunate, and including myself. So I'm looking very forward to coming to Montreal. It's such a beautiful city. I know a lot about it, of course, and so I'm really looking forward to coming back. Like I said, it's been, what is that, 44 years now?
Yeah, exactly. So you're joining us from Youngstown, Ohio right now. And in the background, those are your championship belts behind you?
Yes. On the top, that the top one's the North American title. Underneath is the world title belt that I had defended 4 times. And on the bottom, about 10 years ago, I was at one of the WBA conventions, and they gave me the super champion belt just as a status that I defended the title so many times. So they gave it to the how do you get to defend that or fight for that bottom one? But it's nice. It deserves its own space.
So Ray, you were a pro boxer from 1979 to 1992. That's a long time because it's a rough sport.
Actually, I have to clarify. And I always tell these people, my career was from 79 to 85.
Okay, where's the 92 come in? You made a comeback?
Explain that. I officially retired in 1985. So I fought 5.5 years. I came back in 1989 to fight Hector Camacho because that was a personal thing. So that's 4.5 years. I tell people, if you ain't active in 4.5 years, that doesn't constitute you as an active fighter. I officially retired 85, but I came back. Okay, so I understand when they say he was active, but I wasn't active. I wasn't active 4 years. And then after Camacho, I got married, started my family, and then I was doing an off-Broadway play in New York because you didn't know I was a thespian. I was trained in the theater, and I was doing an off-Broadway play in New York when Lou Falsino, promoter, come to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested to come back and fight Greg Hagen?" I said, "Greg Hagen, tough guy, stands in front of you, can't punch much, tough, strong guy." Yeah, he was the type of guy I used to love to fight. See, because my ego got in the way. I'm thinking I'm doing Shakespeare, like, I'm John Garfield, and now they offered me a fight. Yeah, sure. But Hagen was ego. My ego got involved. So Camacho was personal. That's why I wanted that fight no matter what. But after that, I had no desire to fight again. But when I was doing off-Broadway play, and I keep telling people, it was ego because, acting's wonderful as everything, but it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing, emotional thing. I wanted to see if I could still compete and get ready like a world-class athlete. So I went to training camp. I had a great training camp. Training camp was wonderful. Except training camp's a dress rehearsal. We all know that. But getting close to the fight, I tell people, no excuse, but this is just fact, that I'd be going a couple days before the fight. I'd be waking up every day and I'd be crying my eyes out. Why? Because I left my wife and my babies to come and have this fight. So and I felt so guilty. You understand? So now I used to go in that attitude, either you're getting carried out or I'm getting carried out. But one of us is getting carried out tonight. To God, please don't let me get hurt. My wife, my babies, they need me. Yeah. See, no excuse. Just my mentality was different. So when I tell people I was beat before I got in the ring, yeah, I went through with it because I committed to it. But I didn't want to be. I was in the dressing room and I told my trainer, I don't want to be here tonight. I don't want to do this. He said, well, it's a hell of a time to tell me now, ain't it? So, I was walking that ring like dead man walking. I can't tell you, and I mean it sincerely. I could tell you things about my pro debut in 1979, from the dressing room to the ring. I can remember specifically. I can't tell you nothing about that walk because it's such a blur to me now. It's all. So, again, Camacho was personal. Hagen was ego. And as I always say, ego will get you your ass kicked as far as life and love. Ego, I once said, I actually been quoted in a book. This is true story. I've been quoted in a book. Guy said, what is your greatest asset? I said, my greatest asset, my greatest strength has been my greatest weakness. And that's my ego. My ego made me believe I could be champion of the world when nobody else thought. My ego made me believe I could go beyond what other people thought. But it's the same ego that told me I could go in and fight a guy like Greg Hagen without having any fights in between. Same ego that me thought I could go and do business deals without doing my diligence, without checking out the business, So my ego has been my biggest success in my life, but my biggest failure in life. So,
well, that's a great answer. So just to conclude, of course, you're long retired, but I read that you owned a cigar company.
I have a cigar and I have a bourbon and wine company. It's a lifestyle company. I've been a cigar company since 1992. I enjoy good cigars. And people say, "Oh, I thought you're all about health." I said, "I am. Mental health. When I smoke a cigar, I escape. I don't smoke every day. I don't smoke more than one a day anyhow. But when I smoke it, I enjoy it. I savor it. So thus came the bourbon. The bourbon, obviously, nothing better than with the good cigars, the glass of bourbon. When I'm at home at night, or at my friends, I want a glass of bourbon and a good cigar. Nothing better. But I started my bourbon company got in 2015. We started that, but I started my wine company in 1990. About 2008. 2008. I grew up. Of course, I'm fairly knowledgeable about wines. Living in California for 30 years, you find out about wine. You learn about wine. Being Italo-American heritage, you learn about wine. But what people understand is I drink wine every day, but it's food. You drink it with your food. I don't drink wine just to drink wine. It's with my food. So when you understand that, my kids, my babies, when they were 2, 3 years old, I used to give them a little bit of wine, a lot of water, water it down. People go, you give your kids wine? I go, it's food. Don't you understand? You drink a little bit with your food. So yeah, my kids been drinking wine for a lot of years. That's right. But
well, that's yeah. So I know you're doing a lot, and you're also into movie production. You've acted, you've been in films, so you got a busy life.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a busy time, but you got to do the grind. I mean, like I'm chasing money all the time. I'm following the hat, chasing the hat, following the money, because being a producer, you got to go after it. People, it ain't coming to you. People ain't coming to you. And I produced for MGM. I've produced for Warner Brothers. I've produced for studios, and I've done a lot of independent stuff. But you still got to do the grind. That don't change. So being independent, you got to do that, which I enjoy. I don't. That's part of the deal.
Well, Adam and Lino, looks like you got the right man. I think people are going to be very excited to get a chance to meet this legend in person. And we'll give more information on the event. I hope to be out there and meet you next week, Ray. It's been a pleasure getting to know you briefly on the call. Lino and Adam, thank you very much. And best of luck with these two great events. One more thing, Ray, go ahead.
Can I ask Lino a question? Lino.
Yes.
Is there any many Siciliani in Montreal?
Yes, there are many Siciliani.
Troppo Siciliani. Okay, perfect.
There'll be
That's all I
there'll
need
be
to know.
some at the
All I need to know.
Can you
there'll be some
explain
at the
to
tournament.
can you
There'll
explain
be a
to
lot at the tournament.
can you
I just want
explain
to say
to
one more thing, Mike. I
yeah,
just
can you
want to
please
thank
explain to
Adam
me
Harris.
what he just meant, by the way. Go ahead.
Siciliani is Sicilians,
Sì,
Okay.
la femme says Sicilia. But
the
Lino,
province of Italy.
see, but in Italy, the funny they tell you Italiani, Siciliani, Italian. They tell you not Italian. But I'm like, if I'm somewhere like I'm in Rome or Milano, and I speak to and I go and I speak to in a restaurant or a store, and they ask me, they say, who are you trying to like? They'll say, who are you trying to buy for? I said, I'm trying to buy for mi comprato mi piccerido. Piccerido is a very Sicilian word. So right away, I know you're Sicilian. So they tell me, Senor, you don't speak Italian, you speak English. I mean, you don't speak Italian, you speak Sicilian, so speak English.
Yeah. One of our major sponsors is Sicilian, actually.
My man.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And I just want to take a minute just to thank Adam from First Cut Sports and the Cigar Box for bringing you in. He's a tremendous person, and I can't thank him enough.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now we just got to hope.
There you
Yes.
go, Mike.
It doesn't get any better than that. Now we just got to hope for a good weather forecast and everything will be perfect for next Sunday and Monday.
Is the spec supposed to be good? Because I don't know what to wear.
A little early, but we want you to wear it, Ray. We want you to come with your physique and your boxer trunks. That's what we want you to come with. That's the real goal.
I can ask one thing. Is this, what's the time difference? Is it the same East Coast or Central Coast time?
Same time. I believe as you. It should be the same as right now. Right now, as we record this, it's 11:57 a.m. What time is it in Youngstown?
It's right. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yep. Okay, you're right. 11:57. Just want to
Perfect. You know what? This is very good that we did this, so you know that you don't have to worry about any time adjustment when you're playing.
That's good.
Perfect. Can't wait to see you, Ray. Can't wait to see you.
Good to be said. Mike, Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, champ. And we're going to get you on TSN 690 radio, hopefully, when you're here as well. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have
Bye-bye,
a great
guys.
day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Gotcha.